Hey, what's up? Hello. If you're new here, my name is Kayla and you are watching Kayla's Bookish Vibes. We are kicking off our weekly vlog. I done filmed 2 videos today and I'm done talking. I'm so tired of talking, I don't know what to do. I tried to get them in while my husband and the kids were out of the house. But I wanted to go ahead and kick off this weekly vlog while it was fresh on my mind and tell you guys the 2 books that we're going to be reading this week. I'm currently reading The Final Strife by Sarah El-Arafi. This book is a chunker. This is a fantasy and it is adult. You guys know I've been in my fantasy bag. I've been needing some adult fantasy, so I'm excited. I've actually already started this. I need to move my bookmark. I'm actually reading it on my Kindle. By the time you guys see this video, you'll have already seen Keontae's transformation. And I think I also have the audiobook for this, but I've just been enjoying reading this book with my eyes. I'm like, do I want to listen to it on audio? I'll check the audio out to see if I like the narrator and see if I enjoy reading it on audio, but I've really been enjoying reading this book with my eyes. So I've actually been reading it on Keontae. Yeah, I need to figure out where are we at in this book. I haven't actually read the physical book. I've just been reading it on my Kindle and then moving it, moving the bookmark that I have in there. So I think I need to move my bookmark. Where are we at? Chapter 4. So not very far in at all. Yeah, I'll come back to you guys when I get a little bit further in this one. But the other book we're going to be reading in this book, in this video, is called In the Shadow of the Deadwoods by Letitia Redding. This was sent to me by the author to read and do a review on. I'm going to be buddy reading this with Bryn D. I will leave her channel link down below. If you're not subscribed to my girl, you definitely should. She does weekly vlogs, like weekly reading vlogs. She also does like monthly reading wrap-ups. Typically, honestly, if you enjoy my channel, I think you would really enjoy Bryn's channel as well. I don't even think her real name is Brindy, but that's what her channel name is, so that's what we're going to call her. Obviously, that's what she wants us to call her that. We don't start this until the end of the week, but it is short, and I'm hoping that I can get through this book this week so that next week I can just focus on breezing through this book, because I don't want to hold Brindy up. Y'all know I'll be doing a lot, and I know you can't tell by these videos, but like my weekly vlogs have taken me a really long time to read and edit those videos and read those books, because I've been doing so many other things like in my everyday normal life that I can't just sit and read a book. It doesn't take me a week to read a book anymore. It takes me a lot longer. So I've had to do like other videos in between my weekly videos to give me more time to read. And I don't want to hold Brindy up if we're doing a buddy read. Thankfully, this book is not that long at all. It's only 227 pages. We'll come back to you guys later on when I sit down to read this book. I need to clean. I need to deep clean these bathrooms. So I might crack open the audio to read while I'm cleaning, and maybe that will make me feel better. I hate cleaning the bathroom. Cleaning the bathrooms really grosses me out. And I know that's because I have 2 boys. It's disgusting.
Her family. Guilt clouded her mind, and she let her brains go.
So we're reading. I've been reading. I'm just tired, so I haven't been like picking the camera up to document when I'm reading, but I have been reading. We are about 33% through The Final Strife by Sarah El-Arafi. I really hope I'm saying her name correctly. We're about 33% through this book. I have this book physically, but I haven't been reading the physical book. I've just been keeping up with my spot with my bookmark. But I've actually been reading this book on Keontae. because obviously it's just easier to hold this and to read. But I've also been reading this book. Like how many ways can you read the book? I've also been reading it on audio. I can't find my phone right now while I'm working, like, because I'm invested in the story at this point. I don't want to speak too soon, you know, like I don't want to jinx it. I'll give you a very brief synopsis because I don't want to ruin this book in any way, but we are following what I believe is 3 girls. But in this, because I know this is a trilogy and I have all 3 books, and I can just tell from the cover of all 3 books that ultimately we will be following 3 girls. But in this first book, we're really only following 2 of them so far. So this society is run by a caste system based on the color of someone's blood. So we have the Embers, whose blood is red, and they're at the top. Then we have the Dusters, whose blood is blue, and they're at the bottom. And then we have Ghostings, whose blood is clear, and they're like whatever's below the bottom. If Dusters are like the bottom of someone's shoe, then Ghostlings are like the gum on the bottom of that shoe. I don't want to necessarily say Dusters are in the middle, because the gap between the Embers and the Dustings is so big that there is no middle. You're just either on top or you're on the bottom. Those things are just scum, I guess. Like, not my words, but the book, that's how they treat them. Like, literally they treat them like the scum of the earth. It's so heartbreaking reading about their plight, but I'm hoping, you know, that this series, you know, that changes along with its series. So we're following 3 girls, but in this book we're mainly following a Duster and an Ember. So our main character, the one we're introduced to first, is a Duster, and she is really good at combat. She's really good at fighting, but she is addicted to drugs. She is addicted to what they call a hoba seed. I don't really know what to compare that to in the real world. Just know that it like alters your state of mind. It's like a pain number type thing, like, and she's addicted to them, like multiple a day, to the point where she can't really function without them. That's our Duster. And then our Ember that we're following, she is the daughter of a warden, which is like a high position in the court, and she's not treated very well by her mother. And her character really just wants to prove herself. She wants to prove herself to her mother, to her classmates, to everyone who doubts her. So she's kind of like, I don't want to call her an underdog because she is in the Ember society. So she's like in the upper, I guess, level of this caste system. So it's really hard to feel bad for her when you see how the Dusters and the Ghostings have to live. So that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to give too much. There are a set of trials in this book, and I have finally hit like where the trials have started. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving the writing style. This world, I can tell, is only going to get bigger. I do like, I'm obsessed with the writing style, honestly, but because I feel like it's really easy to follow for me. Like, it just flows really well with my brain, and I can just like read this. I could literally sit here and just like keep reading this book. There's actually a glossary in this book, and that kind of scared me from picking this book up in the beginning. I was like, oh Lord. I started this book once before and I stopped at like chapter 3. All of this is a glossary. All of that. This world, I believe, is expansive. Already only 33% in, I can tell this world is expansive because it's like constant world building. The first, I would say, around 100 pages is just like a lot of world building, but for me it was enjoyable. And that's really hard to do because sometimes world building can just feel really dumpy, like they're just giving it all to you. But the way it was written here, because I'm interested in this world and I want to know the history. I want to know why they have to do things the way that they do them. Like, why are Ghostlings treated this way? Why do you, I don't want to give anything away, but like, why are they treated this way? And what makes the Embers so special? And like, I want to know about this world. Like, take me there. And I feel like she does an amazing job with taking me there. Like, these people feel, and this society feels very real to me. So I think I do prefer to read it with my eyes, just because I feel like I'm immersed more when I read it with my eyes. Like, the voices are my own, the visuals I'm getting in my mind are my own. Like, everything is my own when I can read it with my eyes, and it just immerses me more into the book. However, the audiobook is really good. I love the narrator's voice for this book. And I believe there's more than one narrator, because there was like a very brief moment where we got a male's perspective, and it was a man's voice. So I am loving the audiobook. No qualms there. At first I was like, if I have to read this book on audio, I'm probably going to be disappointed, but I'm not. I do really love the audiobook. It's not overproduced or anything. It's just a narrator reading the book, but she does an amazing job. But anytime that I can sit and read this book with my eyes, that's how I would prefer to consume it. And I literally have it in every format possible. I have the physical, the ebook, and I also have the audiobook on my phone. So yeah, I thought I would come and give you guys my initial update. I don't think I've given you my initial update yet. I'm about to sit here and read for a little while. I'm so tired though that I may actually fall asleep while reading this book. But I do want to get back into it, because where I left off, it was like the trials had started. So like I need to know what's going down. I do also have a cup of coffee because I am so tired, but there's still so much left in my day. I cannot go to sleep right now. So it's cold. It's cold now, but I don't care. I don't care. Wow, I think I have some predictions. I have some predictions about our characters, not necessarily about the plot. I literally have no clue where this plot is going and how certain things are going to be revealed, but I have some predictions about our characters. Interesting. Very interesting. All right, I just finished another chapter and I think I'm just going to play some Disney Dreamlight Valley and ignore the laundry that I should be doing right now because I deserve. So I'm about to play some Disney Dreamlight Valley. I'll come back to you guys tomorrow when I have, or maybe not tomorrow. I'll come back to you guys when I have some sort of an update for this book. Alright guys, we are taking a break. We are taking a break from The Final Strife by Sarai El-Arafi. I'm really enjoying my time with this book. It is one where you can just, it's giving me the vibes, but I don't want to jinx it. Like, but I'm loving it. Anytime I'm not reading this book, I wish I was reading the book, right? Anytime I have like a spare moment, even if I know it's just going to be like 15 to 20 minutes, I want to pick that book up and read it. But today we're supposed to be starting our buddy read of In the Shadow of the Deadwoods with Bryn D. I told you guys I would be buddy reading this with her, and today we start our buddy read. We decided to do like 5 chapters at a time and just check in with each other as we read. A very chill and relaxed buddy read, which is just how I like them. Like, listen, no pressure, read at your own pace, check in when you can. I got to chapter 3. Oh, I'm sorry, chapter 4. I got to chapter 4. I literally stopped in the middle of the chapter. That's how you know I was tired. And then I literally laid right here on this couch and went to sleep. But now I'm back. Now I'm awake and I need to pick up where I left off because, like I said, we're going to read the first 5 chapters. So, what I can tell you with my initial thoughts already, though, is we are following a young lady named Hayes. And she is a part of something called the Sisterhood. It's giving very much cult vibes. This is taking place in the future. So in 2054. Hayes is, I forget how old, but she's young. I think she's only like 12 years old. And she lives in something called the Sisterhood, which is a place where only women reside. Like, it's only women that live there. No men are allowed. And any male child, once they reach the age of 6, have to leave. So Hayes's little brother has lost some teeth, and so they believe that he has reached the age where he's supposed to leave, and they expect this boy's mother to release him, like just make him leave and fend for himself, I guess, at 6 years old. Needless to say, she refuses to do that. So Hayes, her mother, her little brother, her grandmother, I believe her aunt and her cousin are all kicked out of the Sisterhood. And that is where I am right now. So now they are having to fend for themselves. That happens like within the first few chapters. I'm so glad they're out of the Sisterhood, if for no other reason than because I'm tired of hearing how they refer to each other in the Sisterhood. They refer to each other as friend, sister, or let me see. Let me look it up. Sister friends. But when you say each person's name, it was just like, it was annoying to read, honestly. If your name is Harriet, sister friend Harriet. Instead of just saying Harriet, they addressed everyone by sister friend and then their name, or sister aunt. I'm just like, girl, can we drop the sister aunt, the sister friend, the sister cousin? It was annoying to read. But thankfully they are out of the Sisterhood now, so they don't have to use that lingo. If I had to, I'm not gonna lie to you, if I had to read that throughout the entire book, I probably wouldn't finish the book. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But they're out of the Sisterhood, and now I guess I'm about to find out what it's like on the other side, out in the open world. So yeah, we're about to pick this book up and complete our 5 chapters, and then I will check in with Bryn D. And I think that's how I'm going to try and get through this book, is read 5 chapters a day, check in with her, and then anytime I'm not reading this, I'm going to be back to the Final Strife. So the kids went to go visit their grandparents today. I'm sitting here with a nice iced chai. I've started decorating for fall downstairs. Honestly, I just pulled out all of my decorations from like previous years to put them where I think they should go, and just so I know like what I need to buy versus what I already have at home. So these are all of our decorations from like previous years. Now I gotta fill in the gaps and go shopping for new stuff. Dark in here because the sun's going down. Sorry about that. I've reached chapter 5. I don't really have any other initial thoughts outside of what I just shared with you all. I'm about to check in with Bryn to see what her thoughts are, how she's feeling about it. I'm actually really interested in seeing how she feels about it. She reads fantasy here and there, but she doesn't read like a lot of fantasy. And this, I want to say, is like sci-fi kind of, because it's taking place in 2054. It's like in the future. And I don't think I've ever like from what I've seen on her channel, I don't think I've ever watched her read sci-fi. I could be mistaken, but I don't remember her reading really any sci-fi on her channel, so I'm really interested in how she's feeling about this book. Actually, I'm about to message her. Girl, what are your thoughts? Okay, we'll wait to see what she says back. But yeah, 5 chapters a day. This book isn't very long, so I think if we read 5 chapters a day, we'll get through this in a week, if not faster. For sure. Yeah, we'll probably get through this in like 4 sittings if we stick to the 5 chapters a day. So I need to make dinner for my family so that when they get back, they'll have something to eat. I will come back to you guys when I have a reading update for the Final Strife, because I can't wait to get back into this. I'm probably going to listen to this while I cook. Hi guys, I'm looking crusty and dusty. Live at 5. Actually, it's 7:43. I'm looking crusty and dusty because I'm just crusty and dusty. I don't know. I don't really know how else to explain it. I just am crusty and dusty. I went on a walk today with my kids. I have not read anything. Oh, I lied. I did listen to the audiobook of the Final Strife. Today I read 1 chapter on audio today while I worked, and baby girl would not let me read anymore. I haven't read anything further in the shadow of the Deadwoods. I need to text Brindy and let her know, like, girl, today I just could not read. I started 75 Hard today. That's what it's called, I believe. That is 75 Hard. I started that today. Girl, we hit 5 months postpartum. Well, we'll be 5 months postpartum in a week. So technically we're still 4 months, but I'm closer to 5 months postpartum. So it's like time to start, you know, time to start working out again. I need it mentally, I need it. So we started that today, and I'm actually really glad about that because I could just feel myself. Listen, pregnancy is no joke, right? But it doesn't stop after you have the baby. Like, postpartum is very real. And I feel like as a society, we don't talk enough about the postpartum journey and how long that journey lasts, okay? I'm like finally ready to work out again. And I feel like I'm starting from ground zero, which is humbling to say the least, but also like extremely aggravating. And I know I have to be patient with myself. I don't know if I ever even, I'm sorry, this has nothing to do with books. I'm just about to talk life, I guess. I delivered my baby via C-section. This was my 3rd C-section. All 3 of my children were delivered via C-section. So I knew like the recovery time after this was going to be hard. But I feel like it's so much harder this time around than it was with my others. And I think it's because I'm older. Like, let's just be real. I'm older. So it's just been a humbling experience. I really don't know how much longer I will be able to like consistently upload. I've been trying to do 2 videos a week, and that's pushing it for me. We'll have to go back down to 1 video a week. I'm so sorry that I keep like yo-yoing. It's like, oh, she's doing 2 videos a week, then she's back down to 1, then she's, but I know that my community completely understands, and I really appreciate that about you guys. It's like, girl, upload when you can. We'll watch when you upload, and there's no pressure. So I really do appreciate you guys being so kind and understanding. You know, like, this is not my job. This is a hobby. And so I appreciate you guys supporting me when I am able to show up. So we'll probably go back down to 1 video a week, because, you know, I just have to make sure I'm okay mentally. For me, that means also making sure that I'm okay physically. And like, my eating habits have been absolutely horrible. But that's because I was doing that on purpose. I was like, listen, once you hit that 5-month mark, it's going to be time to kick it into gear. So enjoy this 5 months. And I enjoyed my 5 months. Okay. I ate whatever, whenever. And now I'm paying for it, but it's okay. I'm willing to put in the work. Anyway, I started 75 Hard today. I'm about to sit here and read 10 pages of a nonfiction book. You guys know I don't like nonfiction, but it's part of 75 Hard. You have to read 10 pages of nonfiction. So I'm going to start All About Love by Bell Hooks. I don't know if I'll finish this, if I'll stick with it. I may end up switching to another book. I actually don't like self-help books. I don't know if this is considered self-help, but I don't like self-help books, so it's going to be really hard for me to find nonfiction because it has to be like self-help or self-improvement. So I'm like, okay, I have this one on my shelf already. I've actually tried to, I'm trying to take the Target sticker off. I've actually tried to read this book once before, and stopped reading it, which is what I do with every nonfiction book. But I just felt like it was super repetitive. Like she kept saying the same things over and over again, but in a different way. So I don't know how I'm gonna muster through this. But I'm about to sit here and read my 10 pages because I have to read 10 pages of nonfiction every single day for the next 75 days. So this is the first book that we're going to start off with. After that, depending on what time it is and how I'm feeling, I'm going to hop back into In the Shadow of the Deadwoods and message Bryn. And Final Strife will probably just have to be my audiobook for the week, which is fine because I'm enjoying the audio. So I'm down for it being my audiobook of the week. The hair, she's still thinning, but we're hanging on by a thread. If I get on this camera with a pixie cut, just know that mentally your girl is over it. Mentally your girl is over it. And she's just, everything is starting fresh. Everything is starting new. I'm saying scrap it all. Let's just start over. So if I get on this camera and I'm bald-headed, just know that's why. Your girl was like, listen, just cut it all off and let it grow back. I've done it before. I can and will do it again if it gets too much worse with the shedding. So anyway, that's my update. That wasn't bookish whatsoever. We're about to go ahead and get into this 10 pages and then I'm going to get into this and I will come back to you guys with an update, I guess. An update on this. I'm not going to update you guys on this book. Just know that I'm reading it for 75 hard. Okay, bye. Yay me. Now I'm about to, it's 8:22. Did Bryn? Okay, so she says she hasn't read anything today either. She said, I'm vlogging about our buddy read and I'm about to record an update right now. Yeah, neither one of us has read. Do you plan to read any tonight? I'm gonna read a few chapters. I'm about to read, I don't plan to start my workout for another 30 minutes. So I'm probably just going to sit and read this for 30 minutes and then update Bryn with my thoughts. And I will come back to you guys tomorrow with an update on where I get with this book and my thoughts on this book. So I'm just tired of being on camera looking this dry and crusty. TTYL. Today has been such a good day and I really just hopped on this camera looking like when we're in the book room together, we can come as we are. So disregard how I'm looking. Been reading In the Shadow of the Deadwoods. I'm about, I want to say almost like 40% through that book. Now, the only thing I'm not really feeling is how there's no like, I want to say this is sci-fi, but there's no like world building happening. So we don't understand how we got to this point. Like, we obviously know there was a before all this has happened and they call that, oh, I wish I had the book right here with me. They call that the destruction, I think is what it's called. And obviously that's when, I guess, society just collapsed, like things went to crap and now the world is what it is now, but we don't know what exactly happened, like what exactly took place. There is no necessarily buildup of the before. They keep mentioning the before, but we don't know what happened before. So I'm wondering, like, is that going to come later in the book? This is not a long book, mind you. Like, it's only 200 and something pages. So I'm like, probably not, because you don't have time. And the amount of pages you have left, you don't have enough time to tell me what happened before and to also flesh out the plot that's happening now. Does that make sense? So that's kind of a bummer. I kind of wish I knew what happened before. And I could be totally wrong, right? I'm not done with this book. She could give us a really good explanation about what happened before. And I could just eat these words. So I guess we'll find out in this vlog. Today, my kids have been at their grandparents all day today. So I literally had the house to myself all day. So I was able to sit down and read. And we've been going back and forth on text messages discussing the book. She went back and reread a part because she thought she missed something. And it never occurred to me to go back and reread anything when I'm reading a book that I don't, like, if I don't, especially like, say for instance, fantasy, if it's like I'm reading my first epic fantasy right now. If there's something that I feel like I missed or something that I didn't think I completely grasped, I don't go back to reread it. I just keep reading and I just trust that everything will fall into place. And it usually does. But I don't go back and try to like, is that weird? Am I the only one who does that? When she said that though, I was like, that makes sense. Like, why wouldn't you go back if you felt like you missed something. It just never occurred to me to do that. I probably won't do that going forward just because I'm so used to just like, I'm just going to keep reading. Like it'll click eventually. But I wonder if that's why so many people who read fantasy and don't enjoy fantasy is because they feel like they have to grasp every little thing. And I'm just like, yeah, I probably wouldn't enjoy fantasy either if I felt like, you know, especially on my first go around reading, like if I felt like I had to grasp, because what I've noticed a lot with fantasy is they repeat themselves. So like they'll introduce a certain aspect of maybe like the world building, they'll introduce it, and then later on they're going to double down on it because if it's good world building, it builds off of each other. So what you didn't get in the beginning is probably going to be restated later on in the book, and I'll just grasp it when they talk about it again. I'm just like, dang, yeah, rereading probably be really beneficial in comprehending the book. Child, don't get me. I don't know why I never considered going back and rereading as I'm reading the book. But that's an update for that book. I haven't been able to read the Final Strife today because I've just been reading In the Shadow of the Deadwoods. So I'm probably going to read a chapter or two of the Final Strife tonight before I go to bed because I'm really interested in that book and I need to get back into it. I'll come back tomorrow when I have an update or we are doing something else. Hey y'all. I'm sitting here editing this video and I realized I never actually ended it. So that's what I'm here to do. We finished In the Shadow of the Deadwoods by Letitia Redding. And you guys know I was buddy reading this book with Bryn D. And I ended up giving this book 2.75. And here's why. The world building in this book I feel like was non-existent. And I feel like with sci-fi and fantasy, which I believe this is considered sci-fi, with those types of books, with fiction in general, but specifically with those types of books, you have to include some sort of world building because the world that you have created lives only in your mind. And your mind is like the author of the book. You're trying to take your reader to that world. And the only way to do that is to explain the world. You have to build up this world that you're taking us to. And I feel like it wasn't done here. Something called the destruction happens, and that is why the worlds from before, I'm assuming, because it was never like actually explained, I'm assuming the world before was like very normal, much like what we would expect today's society to be like. And then something called the destruction happens, and now the world is what it is in here now. We don't really know what life was like before the destruction. We get hints of it being told to us by other characters who maybe mention like, oh, I was married before the destruction, or this is what, life was like before the destruction, but it's very like small glimpses. So we don't really get to see the world before the destruction happened. We don't know what actually occurred to change the world. We're just thrown into the world as it is in this book today. I feel like because it was written that way, I didn't care as much. Like the whole time I'm so focused on what the heck the destruction is and why it occurred or how it occurred, like what took place during the destruction, that I'm not necessarily following along or caring much about the plot that's taking place, which is basically this young girl has found herself in this Freeman society and she is trying to rescue her brother from this Freeman society. But even that plot was lost, I feel like, in the midst of this book, because there were moments where it just kind of dragged on and we weren't doing anything to push the plot along. So it was also kind of like I couldn't decide if this was a character-based or character-driven novel or plot-driven novel. And I don't feel like it did a really good job of being both. Some of the transitions going from scene to scene within the same chapter didn't flow as smoothly, and then some of the transitions going from chapter to chapter also didn't flow as smoothly. So I know there is a book 2, and I'm wondering if maybe some of the world building takes place in book 2. I really wish that the author would have built this world up a little bit more. Now, I also think that my feelings about that were maybe exasperated because I was also reading the Final Strife in this video, and the world building in this book is phenomenal. Like, I'm there, babe. I know I'm there. I know the back history. I know the objective that we're trying to reach in this book. Like, I feel like I'm there. I know the cast system very well. I know who I'm rooting for. Like, it's more than just telling me about the characters. If there's a plot, you also have to tell me about the plot, but I need to know the why. Like, why are they this way? and why is it important to them. When I believe why it's important to them, then it becomes important to me as the reader. So I'm invested in this one. Loving it and taking my time with this. I do have the audio and I have been like dipping in and out of the audiobook, but I think I just enjoy reading this book with my eyes more. So I've been savoring it. It's like even when I have the opportunity to listen to the audio, I'm like, I don't want to. I want to read it with my eyes. So it's going to take me a little longer to finish this book, and that's okay. I really feel like this is going to be a series that I thoroughly enjoy, and I know that I'll only get to experience it for the first time, one time. So I'm trying to really savor my first time experience with this series, and I'm loving it. So that's the second book. And then we also picked this book up briefly, All About Love by Bell Hooks. You guys, I think I mentioned I'm doing 75 hard, and this is the nonfiction book that I have decided to read during my 75 hard challenge. Am I enjoying it? I think this book has so many gems. I'm loving the conversations that it's bringing up with myself, like the inner conversations that this is bringing up. It's also bringing up conversations that I've been having with my husband and with my best friend, with my little sister. Like, I love the conversations that it's bringing up. It's just nonfiction, and I don't enjoy nonfiction. It's kind of like school. I'm not in school though, because so it's like when I sit down to read in my spare time, I want it to be books that I enjoy. And I personally enjoy being told stories about different worlds, about different people. There's no story being told here. It's just, you know, someone else's thoughts, opinions, and I love that for her. And I love that for everyone who loves this book. I'm just not a fan of nonfiction. So when I pick it up and read the 10 pages that I have to read every day, I enjoy those 10 pages. I enjoy the conversations that it brings about. And then I'm like looking forward to putting the book down, and I'll pick it back up tomorrow. If it wasn't for 75 hard, I know that I probably wouldn't finish this book though. Those are all the books that I think we started in today's video. We only finished one of them. I do also feel the need to say this because I'm literally editing this video, and there's so many clips that I'm just like, do I want to leave that in? Do I want to take that out? I don't know. Like, I'm struggling with some of the clips that I'm choosing to leave in this video. I think a few of them I am going to leave in though, because so many of you who comment on my videos are moms, and there have been a few moms who have commented and let me know like we were pregnant at the same time, or like you had your baby maybe a little while after me, or, you know, just we're kind of like in the same boat, especially with being, you know, with our whole postpartum journey. Okay. I pray that the clips that I do decide to leave in are not triggering for you. Yeah, I don't want to trigger anyone. Postpartum can be, I feel like babies in general, you know, make people happy. Sometimes the postpartum period of having a baby is often neglected, overlooked, or not thought about until you yourself are going through it, right? Society as a whole doesn't necessarily put a lot on the postpartum aspect of pregnancy. It's just the pregnancy that everyone is super excited about. And then the baby's here, so everyone's excited about the baby. But there's so much that goes into a woman's emotions and body and mental during the postpartum phase. And I also think we underestimate how long the postpartum phase can be. So without doing too much, because this is a bookish channel, I want you guys to know that I am okay. Hopefully none of the clips that I decide to leave in are triggering to anyone. I'm going to be very selective about what I decide to keep into this video. Also, hopefully they are encouraging. Hopefully it's an encouragement to someone who may be in the same space as me, right? In the same time period as me. Getting outside, moving your body, exercising, sweating, getting some sunlight are all very important things, and you have to make time for them. Even if it's just going on a walk around the neighborhood, you have to move your body, okay? I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want this channel to be about that, right? And obviously majority of the people watching my bookish channel don't care anything about that. They're not going through postpartum, you know, like they don't care. But for the ladies who are, I really hope that you're able to make time for yourself and to move your body and to get outside, okay? I am feeling a lot better. I have an amazing support system who sees and knows even when I don't see and know, and who push me in the right direction. So thank God for that, okay? So I'm okay. I just want you to know, I don't know what I'm going to leave in this video, but I feel the need to end the video by letting you guys know that I am okay and we are on the up and up, okay? So thank you so much if you made it to the end of today's video. I really appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you did make it to the end of today's video, please leave this emoji to let me know that you watched until the very end. And I will see you guys in my next video.